This isn't right. What are we to each other? Of course I'm suspicious too. We'll carry out a full internal investigation and a high-intensity prosecution inquiry. So stop dragging your feet and get out already. To everyone who lies awake every night imagining how Reborn Rookie will end, welcome. Watching this episode truly sent a chill down my spine. At the center of it all was Chairman Kang's cold death, and Kang Jae-kyung's bizarre calmness as she stood before him without the slightest emotional tremor. What was more horrifying than the fact that she had killed her own father was the attitude she showed immediately afterward. As if nothing had happened. No, as if she had finally achieved the goal she had been chasing all along. That victorious smile was pure terror for the viewers. The silence inside that hospital room felt like the stage where the monster named Kang Jae-kyung was born. It was suffocating to watch. By driving her father to his death, Kang Jae-kyung crossed a river she can never return from. And the chairman title now in her hands already feels less like power, and more like a noose tightening around her neck. Kang Jae-kyung's meticulousness is so chilling that it almost feels like a kind of art beyond the realm of crime. She placed the audit team leader beneath her feet, perfectly manipulated the slush fund ledgers, and used the complicated hidden money structure between the chemical and trading divisions to send Kang Jae-sung to prison. The method was almost terrifyingly impressive. She did not simply steal money. She crushed her opponent's entire life, and even secured a justification for doing it. When Chairman Kang tried to bring Kang Jae-sung back through Lee Sang-jae, Kang Jae-kyung did not panic. Instead, she chose the most efficient way to remove her father. When Kang Jae-sung smiled like a victor and provoked Kang Jae-kyung, she may already have been imagining the scene of the funeral in her head. Now that even her father's will, the only remaining obstacle, has been erased, Kang Jae-kyung may believe her victory will last forever. But this was clearly the foolish choice that pushed her own foot into the swamp of destruction. Kang Jae-kyung's twisted madness is fully revealed in the sight of her leaving the hospital room and heading toward the president's office. She ignores the urgent calls as if they are spam messages and walks into the kingdom she created for herself. It is the perfect image of a sociopath. Even the fact that her father closed his eyes forever is not an object of grief to her. It is only one step in securing her control of management. Kang Jae-kyung will think she has perfectly cleaned up everything around her by framing Jo Si-hee for Chairman Kang's death and driving Kang Bang-jul out. Using other people's lives as stepping stones may look flawless on the outside, but in reality, it is proof that she is isolating herself. Power becomes stronger when it is shared. But Kang Jae-kyung is cutting away everyone who once supported her, and destroying the ground beneath her own feet. One of the most common mistakes made by people who seize power is falling into the trap of monopoly. Kang Jae-kyung does not understand how dangerous it is when no one around her follows her sincerely, and only underlings tied to her by self-interest remain. By the time she realizes the throne she gained by killing her father is nothing more than a sandcastle, the beast named Hwang Jun Hyeon will already be aiming for her throat. Hwang Jun Hyeon taking Kang Jae-kyung's hand and putting on an act of breaking up with Kang Bang-jul is not just a disguise for revenge. It is a highly calculated trap designed to make Kang Jae-kyung walk into her own grave of destruction. Kang Jae-kyung may believe she has tamed Hwang Jun Hyeon, but in truth, she has brought the most dangerous beast right into her bedroom. Her fate, collapsing most violently at the peak of victory, already seems visible beyond the screen. The large-scale purge Kang Jae-kyung carried out as soon as she wore the title of chairwoman was nothing but bloodless, merciless madness. We need to look closely at why she drove Kang Bang-jul so cruelly into a corner, and why she turned Jo Si-hee, the woman who helped raise her to that position, into a scapegoat in an instant. To Kang Jae-kyung, family and lovers are not people she shares emotions with. They are consumables she uses to strengthen her position, then discards whenever they are no longer useful. Placing all the blame on Jo Si-hee, he is more than simply creating a culprit. It is a declaration of rule, born from the height of arrogance, the belief that even the person who raised and supported her can be moved in the palm of her hand. When Jo Si-hee faced the cold murderous intent in the eyes of the daughter she had devoted her life to, the terror and betrayal she must have felt was such an intense tragedy that even we, the viewers, could hardly breathe. The decision to throw Kang Bang-jul out of the house can be understood in the same context. Kang Bang-jul is Chairman Kang's blood relative, and at the same time, She is the most dangerous person who can shake the legitimacy of Kang Jae-kyung's succession to the very end. To prove that she is the flawless owner of Choiseong, Kang Jae-kyung tried to erase Kang Bang-jul completely from her orbit. But the truly interesting and strange point here is Hwang Jun Hyeon's attitude as he chooses, of his own will, to remain beside this mad Kang Jae-kyung. Hwang Jun Hyeon hides the camera footage containing decisive evidence, takes Kang Jae-kyung's hand, and chooses the path of breaking up with Kang Bang-jul. But this is absolutely not because he loves Kang Jae-kyung. This should be seen as part of a meticulous and cruel psychological strategy, raising Kang Jae-kyung to the highest place, making her believe she controls everything, and then tearing away the ground beneath her feet all at once. The key detail we must pay attention to here is Hwang Jun Hyeon's terrible headaches. This is not a common headache caused by work stress or overwork. It is far more reasonable to see it as the pressure of Chairman Kang's will trying to break through the vessel of Hwang Jun Hyeon's body, or as the process of Chairman Kang's unjust death swallowing Hwang Jun Hyeon's mind. Hwang Jun Hyeon is holding Kang Jae-kyung's hand, but inside him, Chairman Kang's will and Hwang Jun Hyeon's own desire for revenge are violently clashing every moment. Kang Jae-kyung may think she has completely tamed Hwang Jun Hyeon, but in reality, she has invited the most dangerous beast deep into the most private part of her life. While Kang Jae-kyung casts out Kang Bang-jul, frames Jo Si-hee, and builds her fortress of power higher and higher, Hwang Jun Hyeon is silently studying the blueprint of that fortress and searching for the decisive point that will bring it down. Another fascinating point is that Kang Jae-kyung is isolating herself. She destroyed her older brother Kang Jae-sung, punished Jo Si-hee who had supported her, and even drove out Kang Bang-jul. Now there is no one left beside her who truly cares for her. Only hollow underlings chasing power remain around her. Psychologically, this state is often called the syndrome of an isolated ruler. Once only enemies remain nearby, even the smallest wind makes that ruler sensitive, and they are consumed by their own suspicion. Hwang Jun Hyeon will use those tiny cracks to push Kang Jae-kyung into the pit of ruin. With Chairman Kang's soul and Hwang Jun Hyeon's soul tangled together, the pain Hwang Jun Hyeon feels may be a necessary process to complete his revenge. The sight of Hwang Jun Hyeon screaming in search of Chairman Kang's true voice suggests that he has now become more than a simple avenger. He has become a judge who represents Chairman Kang's will. Kang Jae-kyung believes she has become chairwoman and achieved a perfect victory, but the weight of that victory has already become a noose around her neck. The moment Kang Jae-kyung realizes the emptiness hidden behind the brief superiority she felt after driving out Kang Bang-jul, and the cold truth inside Hwang Jun Hyeon's gaze as he looks at her, this drama will rush toward a catastrophe beyond anything we imagined. We cannot help but wonder at what decisive moment Hwang Jun Hyeon will bring out that camera footage and bring Kang Jae-kyung down. Now in the long-awaited final stage, we will look at the signs of destruction one by one, as the fragile sandcastle Kang Jae-kyung carefully built is turned into dust by Hwang Jun Hyeon's hands. Hwang Jun Hyeon hiding that decisive camera footage and taking Kang Jae-kyung's hand was not simply an act of keeping silent. On the contrary, it was a meticulous trap designed to make Kang Jae-kyung prove to the world, with her own hands, the towering crime she built while deceiving herself, the unforgivable sin of Chairman Kang's death. Kang Jae-kyung will be convinced that she has erased every piece of evidence perfectly. But she has forgotten that Hwang Jun Hyeon, the person watching her every move from the closest position, is the clearest witness and judge capable of tightening his grip around her throat. Every decision she makes as chairwoman, especially actions like driving out Kang Bang-jul and selling off the hydrogen business, will later become decisive footprints proving her breach of duty, embezzlement, and instigation of murder. Another variable that will accelerate Kang Jae-kyung's downfall is the existence of Kang Jae-sung, who is locked inside the detention center. Kang Jae-sung howled like a beast, but if he discovers something Chairman Kang left behind through Lee Sang-jae before his death, or finds even the smallest flaw in Kang Jae-kyung's carefully designed murder plan, the fight between these siblings will move beyond the group and into the courtroom. Kang Jae-kyung is certain she has completely removed Kang Jae-sung, but in reality, she has left the enemy burning with the strongest desire for revenge in the most dangerous state. Especially if the cruel words and actions Kang Jae-kyung used while forcing all the blame onto Jo Si-hee remain as video or audio evidence, the chairwoman position she desired so desperately will become the clearest and most fatal justification for sending her to prison. The brutal headaches Hwang Jun Hyeon suffers will also deliver a strange catharsis beyond simple pain, as Chairman Kang's will uses Hwang Jun Hyeon as a medium to pressure Kang Jae-kyung. Every time Kang Jae-kyung looks at Hwang Jun Hyeon and feels relieved, the cold hatred in his eyes will become a shadow slowly eating away at her heart. Hwang Jun Hyeon is ready to expose the cruel truth of Kang Jae-kyung murdering her father at the very moment she enjoys the most perfect victory, before all the employees of the group, and before the entire world. The harsh words Kang Jae-kyung poured onto Kang Bang-jul, and the grotesque obsession she showed toward Hwang Jun Hyeon will eventually return like a boomerang and strangle her. That scene may become the greatest climax this drama has to offer. In the end, Kang Jae-kyung will be trapped inside the prison of desire she created and will destroy herself. The moment when she realizes that the chairwoman position she wanted so badly was actually a poison chalice leading her to ruin is not far away. For now, Kang Bang-jul and Hwang Jun Hyeon may seem far apart, but to bring down Kang Jae-kyung, they will eventually merge like one enormous wave. And on the day that wave completely swallows Kang Jae-kyung's fortress, we viewers will feel an unforgettable thrill. The final point left to watch is how cruelly she will pay the price for killing her father and abandoning her brother, and how miserably her ending will collapse. Thank you for joining this fierce and long journey of revenge.